Hi, it's Carrie again today on this Wednesday, last Wednesday actually of May 2024. I had a very kind, thoughtful message from one of my community members today, and I contemplated on whether or not to do this video. As you can see, I'm still a little hesitant about doing it, but I also believe very much in being truthful and my authentic self with my community members for all things. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and do the email. I'm going to go ahead and do this video uh, in hopes that sharing it can help somebody else with the same struggles, if you will. Um, Yesterday was a very, very, very difficult, emotionally driven day for me. I felt like a tidal wave came in yesterday emotionally and sunk my ship. Um, there was grief involved in it, some personal matters that influenced it, and there was some business related frustrations as well. And it all sort of just took my feet out from underneath me yesterday, and I really struggled to get back on my feet yesterday, and actually didn't do that until well into last night. And with the amazing, supportive husband that I have, I finally turned it all around about 9:30 last night. But it was a very, very emotionally difficult day for me. Um, and I don't like those days. Not because I don't like to show frailty, but because they're emotionally exhausting for me. Um, this was one of those really, really bad days where professionally nothing was going right. Personally, that is a book. Let's just put it that way. Um, and then trying to deal with my mom's passing still. And I am a believer that time doesn't make my grief any easier. Um, if anything, my grief becomes more palpable because I realize every single day how very much I miss her and I can't talk to her and she can't help me through some of my personal things that I've been dealing with in my life for a really long time. We all have struggles, we all have burdens, we all have um, issues to overcome, and you compound that then with where we are as a country, where we're going, what's happening, our economy. It's just this perfect storm, and yesterday was literally a perfect storm of one thing after another. It went boom, 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 and then it just absolutely washed me away. Um, and you follow me, so you know I try very hard to be a positive person and even find positives in the negatives. Yesterday, that was a immense challenge for me. Um, and it literally took me sitting down and just talking through all of these things with my spouse, and then revisiting a movie that really changed my thought process a few years ago. And it was given to me by, at the time, somebody that I worked for. And it's called The Secret. And you know, in my videos, I'm always saying that you are your best supporter. You are your best supporter. You know, your brain and you, this in between here is such a powerful instrument, and you need to be using it more. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that we manifest in our lives a lot of the things that come to our lives, not intentionally or with thought, with desire, but it just happens that way. Circumstances come up in each of one of our lives, and sometimes those circumstances are devastating and they are very hard to check off the to-do list and put them away, if you will. I don't think you ever get rid of them when they're big, you know, big events in your life, but I think you can check them off and then file them away in your filing cabinet up here. And The Secret is an amazing way to think and believe that you are, you manifest in your life the things that come to your life. If you want it badly enough and you visualize it badly enough and you say to yourself, okay, this is where I'm going to be, or this is what I want, or this is a goal and this is a dream, and you work on it and you dedicate that to yourself, it will happen. It may not happen in exactly the way you think it's going to happen or the way you want it's going to happen, but these are proven things. This is a proven it's just proven that if you positively reinforce yourself and you visualize and you manifest in your life the positive things that you want in your life, you're going to get this, you're going to get them at some point. And yesterday for me, I let all of the negativity just drown out that. And I'm just here to say that we today anyways, that we are just all human, and there are days where it just is all too much. And even when you try as hard as I do every day to be positive and come in and bring you uplifting information and communication and support, there are days that are very difficult for me. I am still in a pretty significant still processing my mom's passing. I grew up in a household where my dads and my brothers were very, very close because of the passion in their life. And that's golf, and that's great. And they have this remarkably beautiful thing that they can talk about and participate in and go do together. And so that is a remarkable gift that the three of them have. And my mom and I had our own passions and our own things that we used to do. And so when I lost her, I lost all of that along with her. And that's been really hard for me because I can't go do the things that we used to do together because it's too hard. And so I miss those things too. So I've had to replace them with other things, and I've had to put those on a shelf and realize that I can't get them back. So I'm not only mourning my mom, but I'm mourning the things that we had together and the things that we did together and the relationship that we had. And it's when you're as close to your mother as I was, it's just gonna take me a really long time. And I have to be able to, on days like yesterday, not let this over here and this here and this over here load on top of that grief, because then it becomes all consuming and nobody could cope with it. And that's what I struggled with yesterday. Thank goodness for me, that hasn't happened very often, but I would be lying if I didn't say that it does happen. And it just, I don't know if it's normal, but it is my normal, and I have to try to be able to control all the other extenuating things when the grief shows up, because there is no um, schedule for it. It does what it wants. It shows up when it wants. It manifests itself in whatever form that it wants to manifest itself in. And I just have to go with it. So thank you so much for your wonderful message today. There is nothing wrong with saying that you have a bad day, or you're emotionally spent, or you're frustrated, or you're down, or you're depressed. I've been through all of those things too. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with saying to yourself and looking at yourself and saying, well, maybe you do need to go and speak to somebody to work your way through those things. My trigger is going to be more days like I had yesterday. And I hope that I don't have them, because I'm intelligent enough to know that if those days become a bigger number more often, then I will need to do that, because I believe in my heart and in my brain that our emotional well-being and our physical well-being are married. And when that relationship is rocky and one or the other is not well, it sets the whole thing off. If you're emotionally not well, you're physically going to struggle. If you're physically struggling, you're going to emotionally struggle. It is part of the cycle of being a human being. And it's okay to say, I'm not okay. And that's what this message is all about. If you are not okay, please go seek help. I mentioned yesterday in my video that the World of Golf, which is a community that I belong to because I grew up on the PGA Tour. My dad's a retired professional touring golfer. And so that is part of my family, part of my history, part of the fabric of my life. And so when our community suffers a loss like we did over the weekend, by a suicide, that's a wake-up call. And if you are in that, if you're feeling like that, I would encourage you to seek help, because there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need help. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And actually, it's one of the bravest, most courageous things I think anybody can do, to look at themselves in the mirror and say, you need help. Go get it. I've been there too. And it is hard to get to that point, because we have pride. We don't like to admit that we need help. Who likes to admit that? But in our world today, there's just so much that we are all trying to juggle: home, family, career, finances, hatred. There's so much negativity and hatred in the world, and it's like a cancer. And we as communities must do a better job to eradicate it, to be nice to each other, to support and encourage each other. It takes a community to raise a child. That saying is so true, but it's also true that it takes a community to be really happy. I believe that too. Doesn't have to be a huge community, and the community can be your family, but it takes a community to be a balanced, happy, successful person. And that's why my community is so important for me in this community, that we never let negativity sink in or seep into this space. It has to be positive, it has to be constructive. And if it's not, then it won't remain, because there's just too much of it in the world, and it doesn't need to be in a place where we are here to help and encourage and support each other to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, to have a successful life, to have it all. There's no place for it here. So thank you so much for your sweet message. I do so very much appreciate it. Today is a better day, obviously. Um, and I just continue to do what I do, and that's try to find positives and negative. And then the positive that came out of the negative day yesterday is I have this remarkable community member who recognized it in something I said or one of my videos, and she asked me to do a video about it. So then the positive in that is, if this can reach somebody who's struggling, ask for help. That is the positive. And that's what we need to take from this video. Ask for the help. There's absolutely nothing wrong for asking for help, wherever it is, whomever it is, family, friends, coworkers, your boss, your community member, your football coach, your basketball coach, whomever. Just ask for the help and then follow through once you've asked for it. So, have a wonderful rest of this Wednesday. We're about to get another storm here, another big storm, and there's another one coming tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and we are going to float away eventually. The Gulf of Mexico looks like sooner or later is going to be my backyard, and that's about 90, 100 miles away from where I am right now, but we are struggling here in the Houston area. So please pray for all those people who have been affected by the recent storms, the family members of those who've lost their lives, and pray that we do not have a rough hurricane season. We've all been through enough already, and it's not even June. God bless you. I so appreciate that you are part of this wonderful little small but growing community, and you are appreciated if you're part of it. And I just wanted you to know that today as well. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, everybody. This is Carrie from down in Texas.